Hi everyone, welcome back for day 2 of our For You article on Ex Libris. I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
And today we are talking a little bit more about these interesting book plates, which you can find in old, rare, and precious books.
Yes, and only, I guess, the nobles could have it, right?
Yeah, at first, because this was before modern production methods, like when books had to be written by hand or printed in a printing press. There were no factories to make books. And so your book was very precious to you and you wanted to make sure that if it got stolen, you could get it back because it would have your name in it.
Then there will be a crest in it too?
If your family has one.
Right.
Yeah, if you have a noble family and your family is very important, it might have a noble crest with some kind of symbol. And yeah, it started in Germany. It spread out to the rest of Europe. Did Chinese books have something like this?
Maybe, but I'm not sure.
I'm very curious. Or Taiwanese books even. I bet you some people have Ex Libris here.
Yes, so today we are going to learn more about the history of these book plates, right?
Yeah, we are. Because we've only just gotten to the mid-18th century, the 1750s, and that's still pretty far back. So we need to learn about what happened from then until now. Let's get into the article and learn more.
Reading.
Take a look. It's in a book, an Ex Libris. As industrial printing methods developed, book plates became very fashionable. A trend in the 19th century was highly detailed, personalized Ex Libris. Not only the book's owner's name, but also their interests would be indicated on book plates. Many famous people commissioned custom Ex Libris, some of which featured the owner's portrait. Important artists designed book plates in addition to other forms of art. Book plate collecting and trading began over 100 years ago. In this hobby, collectors would order personal Ex Libris designs for the purpose of trading with others. Collectors would arrange these by artist, country, year, and subject. There are several international book plate collecting societies that hold events where members can trade book plates. Ex Libris fell out of fashion after almost everyone could buy books. However, a handful of modern books include book plates already printed inside for the owner to fill in their personal information. Many bookstores sell book plate stamps or stickers. You could even create your own book plate with a computer design program.
Okay, our article starts out today by talking about where books went after the mid-18th century. As industrial printing methods developed, book plates became very fashionable. So before we talk about fashionable book plates, we have to talk about what industrial means. Industrial is an adjective that means of or relating to factories, or the things made in factories, or the people who work in factories. In other words, mass production. So books used to have to be written by hand or printed one at a time. With industrial methods, you can make many, many copies of books at the same time with machines in factories. Now, an example sentence for this, you could say, before there were industrial ways to make clothes, people had all their clothes made by hand just for them.
Industrial 这个形容词呢，代表是工业的或是产业的，所以industrial printing methods 那就是工业印刷技术。这项技术出来之后，才可以大量印刷。那再来呢，工业发展我们可以说 industrial development。那如果是工业生产，那就是 industrial production。所以呢，随着工业印刷技术的发展 ，book plates became very fashionable.
Fashionable, trendy. Fashionable is an adjective that means popular in its time. So things that are fashionable now are currently popular and seen to be cool, or you could say they're in fashion. Fashion is the noun form, means the latest popular thing. So for example, the clothes that you see people walking down the runway, technology that everybody wants to get, Things that are in fashion are cool right now. Everybody likes them right now. So for an example, TikTok is very fashionable among young people in the US, but not so popular in Taiwan.
Fashionable 这个形容词就是流行的、时髦的。So TikTok is very fashionable. 我们还可以用 fashionable 来形容像是 clothes， 就是你的衣服，或是 styles， 好，就是你的风格。那还有像是 fashionable hairstyles， 那就是流行的发型。
Yeah, so fashionable styles are the things that are in, they are trendy. And we're going to talk about that word a little bit after this sentence. A trend in the 19th century was highly detailed, personalized ex libris. So that's a trend. Let's learn about what that means. A trend is something that is currently popular or fashionable. So you could say that something that is fashionable is also trendy. A fashion is also a trend. They mean just about the same thing. So an example sentence here, you could say, getting fancy, colorful drinks from Starbucks was a big trend in the 2010s. So trends are fashions, and it was a big fashion at this time to have a personalized ex libris. Personalized means it's something made with one specific person in mind or using details that they ordered. So if I wanted a personalized one, I could say, hey, I want you to make me an ex libris with my cats, and they have to be in this style, and they have to be these colors, and I want it to have my name in this style, and that sort of thing.
没错，那回到刚刚 trend 这个字呢，我们可以说 a new trend， 那就是新的流行趋势。The current trend， 那就是现在的流行趋势。Something's becoming a trend， 那就代表这件事情正变得流行。那形容词呢，还有这个可以用哦 ，trendy， 流行的。所以19世纪流行的是相当精细而且个人化的藏书票，依照你自己的需求去定制的。好，所以个人化的是 personalized。
So if it was personalized, then the article says not only the book owner's name, but also their interests would be indicated on book plates.
接着我们来看这个文法，对等连接词有 not only but also， 还有 both and。对等连接词用以连接两个词性相同的字或结构对等的词组。那这样子的对等连接词呢，连接两个名词可以当主词，那这个时候动词变化的规则要小心哦。Not only A but also B， 不仅有 A 还有 B， 那动词形态要与最接近的主词一致。So for example, not only the students but also the teacher is unhappy about the result of the competition. 不仅学生，连老师也对比赛的结果感到不开心。动词变化要以第二个主词 the teacher 为主，好，所以是第三人称单数。那再来 both A and B， 有 A 还有 B， 两者都是如何如何。那这样子的动词形态呢，我们就用的是复数型，像是呢 both Shelly and I are going to the coast tomorrow。好，那就代表呢，我们两个明天要去海边。那再来啊，课文当中说到的是，不仅是书本主人的名字，还有他们的兴趣都会被显示在藏书票上面。
So ex libris became kind of a trend, didn't they? They became personalized. They became, filled with all sorts of details about their interests. And the article says many famous people commissioned custom ex libris, some of which featured the owner's portrait. Oh, a portrait ex libris. So you could have your face in a book. Interesting. They would commission these. To commission something or to order a commission as a noun is to order a custom product. Usually it's like a piece of art or something similar from an artist or somebody who makes things for people. So like people commission portraits from me sometimes because I draw people. Yeah. And portrait, in fact, is our vocab word. So portrait is a painting or drawing or a photograph of a person that usually is just their head and shoulders. So it's like from here up or maybe here up at most. So from here to here, that is a portrait. If it's usually a close-up of a person's face. So for an example sentence, the Mona Lisa may be the most famous and valuable portrait in the world.
The Mona Lisa， 蒙娜丽莎的肖像 画像，我们用的就是 portrait 这个字。那再来还有 commission 这个动词啊，指的是委托创作，所以 custom ex libris 那就是客制化的藏书票。被委托创作的藏书票上面呢，还有一些会有名人的 portrait 肖像画像。
So if you were, rich enough, you could commission somebody, be like, I want my face to be in my book. So please make me a nice book plate with my face on it. Yeah, because you were very proud of your face and your books.
Yeah.
So the article says important artists designed book plates in addition to other forms of art. Sounds like a good way to make a little extra cash. So in addition to something or in addition to doing something means with that thing or along with that thing. Or you could also say as well as. Means they made something else and they made book plates too.
那这边看到的介系词片语 in addition to something 或者是加一个 VING 代表除了某事之外还有也可以用 besides 这个字来说 So for example, in addition to being a famous songwriter, Jay Chou is also a movie star 好，代表他除了是一位有名的写歌者之外他也是一位电影明星
He is?
Yes.
What? I didn't know that.
So 课文这边说到呢，重要的艺术家们除了以其他的艺术形式创作之外也设计藏书票
So what movie is Jay Chou been in?
青蜂侠
I don't know it.
I don't remember the English name.
It's okay. Anyway. The article goes on to say, book plate collecting and trading began over 100 years ago. Kind of like trading cards, I bet you. So,
藏书票的收藏和交易呢，在100多年前就开始了。
In this hobby, collectors would order personal ex libris designs for the purpose of trading with others. Okay, so collectors now get involved in the game. Not just book collectors, but ex libris collectors. A collector is somebody who tries to buy or get many of a certain thing for a collection. Basically, a big show or display of one kind of group of items that they have because they enjoy those or because they're valuable to them.
那这边看到字尾 or 常常接在动词之后，表示做点点点的人，所以 collect 这个动词是收藏、收集 ，collector 好，那就是一个名词，收藏者或者收集者。同样的字还有像是 invent 发明 ，inventor 那就是发明家。
Do you collect anything?
No, I don't.
When I was a kid, I collected Pokemon cards. They're probably still around somewhere. Anyway, the article says collectors would arrange these by artist, country, year, and subject. Kind of like how books are arranged in a library.
Right.
Let's learn a little bit more about what arrange means. To arrange things means to move and organize them into a certain order and position. So like when you go to the library, you see that all the books are arranged by either alphabetical order, means like A first, then B, then C, or they're arranged by their Dewey Decimal number. Like they have a certain number on their book spine and they have to go in number order. So you can arrange things all sorts of ways. A lot of people like to arrange things by color, like in our example sentence. Before she eats M&Ms, Danielle arranges them into groups by color.
Arrange 这个动词呢，代表整理或是排列，所以课文说收藏者会用艺术家啦、国家、年份还有主题来整理这些藏书票。
So they have arranging these book plates in a collection, and the article says there are several international book plate collecting societies that hold events where members can trade book plates. That sounds really cool.
还有国际的藏书票收藏协会会举行活动，让收藏者呢可以交易这些藏书票。
So it's kind of like trading cards. Like if you have baseball cards, Pokemon cards, any sort of trading cards, you can trade ex libris the same way you trade cards. That's really cool. Anyway, the article says ex libris fell out of fashion after almost everyone could buy books. When something falls out of fashion, like ex libris did after everybody could buy books, it means not that it goes back into fashion, but that it goes out of it. So it means that it's not cool anymore. If something falls out of fashion, it's no longer fashionable. It's no longer trendy. And that makes sense because if everybody can get books, then it's hard to show something is popular when everybody can have it. So you could say this about fashion trends too, like clothes, hair, and different kinds of looks. So, for example, you could say, this kind of hairstyle fell out of fashion about 10 years ago.
OK， 所以我们说 fashion 是流行，那如果是 fall out of fashion， 那就是不流行了，落伍了。所以我们可以说 after Instagram and TikTok came out, Facebook fell out of fashion.
Yeah, I've been thinking about getting off of
对啊，
Facebook.
现在 Facebook 就没有以前那么流行了。那课文这边说的是呢，大家都可以买书之后，藏书票就没有那么流行，就落伍了。
The article says, however, a handful of modern books include book plates already printed inside for the owner to fill in their personal information. I think usually these are books that are like hardbacks, they're very precious, they're, a certain special edition, something like that. Yeah, they sometimes have ex libris, but they're not like super fancy, they're not personalized, they're just a little card, you fill in your name. I kind of want a personalized one.
You do?
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Anyway, we have a vocabulary word here. We're talking about a handful of books. Not literally you can't hold it in your hand, but it kind of shows you the amount. So a handful in figurative speech means a small amount or a number like an amount you can hold in your hand, figuratively. A few books, like just, every now and then you'll find a book that has this sort of thing. Just a few. So an example, you could say, most students here don't care about older music, but a handful of them really love old songs. And then we're talking about ex libris that are not personalized. You have to fill them in with your name. To fill in something means like a form. You have a line that says name in front of it, and you write the name on the line, or your address, or the date, something like that.
Handful 这个名词呢，代表是少量、少数。那我们通常会说 a handful of something， 那就是少量、少数的……那有少数的现代书籍里面呢，会有印制藏书票，好让书本的拥有者来 fill in their personal information。Filling something 指的是填写，所以我们可以说 please fill in your personal information on this form， 指的就是呢，请你在这张表格上面填写你的个人资讯。
So you might have some little ex libris in certain books. The article also says many bookstores sell book plate stamps or stickers. Interesting. So a sticker you could get, and you could probably put it in your own books. A sticker is a piece of paper with picture on it or writing on it, and you peel it off, and there's something sticky on the back so that you can stick it to something. And that's a sticker. I love stickers.
那现在呢，有很多书店都有贩售藏书票的印章或是贴纸。
You could even create your own book plate with a computer design program.
Okay, so you want to have one, right? And
Yeah, I guess
create it.
I could use Photoshop, or I could use my iPad. I could draw my own.
对啊，你是可以自己用电脑设计软体去创造属于自己的藏书票。
So that's all we've got on ex libris. We have talked about where they came from, where they went, and where they are now. And we hope that you've enjoyed learning a little bit about this really cool little thing that you can find in books. Maybe you can go to the library or go to some universities and hunt around for some really cool ex libris. So that's all we've got. That means it's time for our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, our chat question today. What information or images would you include in your own book plate?
Okay, I wouldn't want my name to show on my book plate or
Really? Even if your book gets stolen, you don't mind?
Okay, but I would want to put my cat's portrait on the book plate. So if the book really gets stolen someday, then I could just use my cat's portrait to locate it.
But I mean,
something like that.
Maybe. But let me think. If I were to put something on I think I really like natural kind of scenery, and I somehow think of Art Nouveau styles when I think of the book plate. Like Muha. And so I think I'd like to have, a really pretty portrait of a lady with some like flowers around it.
Like that kind of style.
Yeah. And then like the words ex libris in like the big Art Deco font, and then my name.
Right.
And probably address.
Nice.
It would be very well designed.
What about your cats?
I mean, my cats could be in it too. They could, be along with the lady. Maybe the lady can be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think I would want a really cool one. Yeah. You guys can talk about what you would put in your own Ex Libris. Maybe you can design your own. Maybe you can look up. There's a big collection of them online. If you Google Ex Libris, you can find the collection of Ex Libris from all over the world. All different books, all different times. It's really cool. Yeah. So that's all we've got for English for You. I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review. Industrial. Jill bought an industrial machine to make the process of making clothes faster. Fashionable. People sometimes read magazines to see which styles are fashionable this season. Trend. Wearing jeans has been a popular trend for a very long time, so they're easy to find in stores. Portrait. Some of the most famous portraits are Vermeer's Girl with a Pearl Earring and Da Vinci's Mona Lisa. Arrange. We arranged these books by author's last name, starting with A and ending with Z. Handful. Miguel invited all his friends to his birthday party, but only a handful of them showed up.
智慧小补帖
Personalized. Commission. Sticker.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net